Good morning, everybody. Well, taking a little garden walk today, and what I was really wanting to talk to you about is has the era of the big garden returned? Whether it's rural homesteading, off-grid homesteading, or urban homesteading, or farmsteading, or yardsteading. It seems to me that with all the stuff going on in the world, that can we really count on having a constant supply of stuff? I know with this pier strikes, freight strikes all over the U.S. East Coast, um, it's already began the panic buying, even here in Newport News, Virginia Hampton Roads area, where we do have one of the big pier terminals and stuff like that. But it just begs the question, can we really count on our food supply? And it's just gotten to the point where, how they jack the prices up on stuff and whatnot. Then out some of this kale and move it over to this other new raised bed planter, I guess. But the thing about it is with stuff like that and the wars and the rumors of wars and everything else, it kind of makes you think, and there's a wealth of knowledge of people that know how to grow gardens and the magic of compost and raised beds and fruit trees and grapevines and all that kind of stuff. Just the other day, I made order of a big pack of like survival seeds, probably dozens of different things that you can grow in your garden, your raised beds and stuff. But it's crazy, man. It really is. Things have gotten so crazy, and I don't really want to take this down a political road, but it's just it's more of a how ready are you? How willing are you, capable of it? Are you of doing stuff? And the thing about it is, in my opinion, that American-made stuff and American-grown stuff, well, it doesn't get stuck on ships or in pierways. It's here. You make your way to your backyard or a farmer's stand or something like that. There it is. But having said all that, I was thinking that, like, your choices of how to do stuff. All right, you look here, and feel free to jump in and tell me if there's something that you think is important or I'm missing. Here, sound like a school bus out there or something. Nope, crash truck. You got the category of like MRE, survival / camping type meals that, you can stock up on stuff like that. All right, you got like canned goods, your prefab stuff like spaghettis and mac and cheeses and, boxes of this where you just have to boil it and do your thing. And all right, and you got a category for like gardening, canning stuff, preserving stuff, and whatever. I mean, if you're so inclined, you could stock up on meats and things that you could freeze and stuff like that. And then the last category I have is like if you want to survive on fast food. Yeah, all right. But I mean, I guess you could do a combination of all these things. And like I said, it's probably something I'm missing. For those that like to, hunt, fish. That might be another subcategory. But having said all that, like I said, I've got a ton of old wood that's been sitting out here for decades, and we're going to continue upon our making of raised beds and everything. See, I'll be like 64 years old here in about 2 or 3 weeks, and see, my parents got divorced when I was real young, so my grandparents pretty much raised me for a good long time, and if they were still alive, they'd be well over 100 years old. And they were, adults during the Great Depression and World War II. And matter of fact, granddad would have been born prior to World War One. So, when I was growing up in the 1960s and 70s, pretty much everybody had big gardens. And we still didn't have like a shopping grocery store or mall on every corner. It was still, even in the larger towns, you know, everybody gardened. Everybody did. And the lost arts of canning and preserving, I mean, I see some of the channels that still do it, and it's a great thing that you're showing all this stuff. But you remember, like World War II, they had the Victor Gardens and everything. That's just my opinion now that we have re-entered that era of the big garden. Whether you're, like I said, urban, rural, off-grid, just wild as can be. But you take a nice little hunk of land, a little piece of land, even like a patio, you'd be surprised what you could grow. And yesterday, my wife went shopping at one of the local stores, and the craziness had already begun. You know, toilet paper, meats, canned goods, everything had literally started flying off the shelves. And you know how they go in this panic buying. The prices went up, and it's just nuts. It's crazy. And there's one thing that I've always believed, that, you know, if you've had food insecurities and you're tired of eating just junk, only you can change that, okay? You know, if you're ate up with debt and stuff like that, only you can make the choices to get out of that. There's no government or a politician that's going to legislate you out of debt or into prosperity. It's you. You know, if you're dealing with personal issues, mental issues, and all that kind of stuff, you know, only you can make the choices to fix it. And because I normally don't do these kinds of videos, I usually just show you what I'm doing and how I intend on doing it. But I sat there and watched yesterday as Iranian rockets were raining down on Israel, and all the stuff going on in Ukraine, and our friends in Taiwan that are always dealing with the potential of a invasion and stuff like that. I tell you what, we live in a pretty dangerous time, and it's probably never been more dangerous than it is right now. You know, I had watching another one of my subscribers, and I won't mention any names, but I know you'll know who I am, that I'm talking about eventually. We were talking about the American dream, and he's from Canada, and he was saying the same thing about the Canadian dream, and another channel from the UK jumped in and said the same thing. You know, food, gas, everything is just, you know, you can't count on it. And you need to get back to a point where we were some decades ago, where we were growing on our own stuff and making our own stuff and whatnot. Here's another spoon project we're getting ready to start. It's a whole piece of fruit tree wood that got damaged on a storm, and we'll take care of that. And but again, like I said, I don't believe that if we grow American, make American, and it is for any country, you don't rely on what gets through your ports and stuff like that, you're probably better off. You know, keep local. And, you know, just, I remember Granddad used to always say, you know, if you live in a place that doesn't have coconuts, well, I guess what? If you want a coconut, you're going to have to travel a place that has coconuts, you know, or if you live in a place that doesn't have tomatoes, either take a trip, visit, have a tomato, or move to that place and grow tomatoes, you know. I guess those old timers had a way of thinking and stuff, but that is what we're up to today, and just some thoughts, and we're going to make some more of these raised beds and get a bunch of wood to work with. But I'd like to hear your thoughts on this list. Does this represent everything, or is there more, or is it a combination of all these that could help you? And of course, nothing's cheap, you know, whether it's money or your own personal labor to do things. All right. Well, finally, it has stopped raining. The weather is straightening itself out. Prayers to all those in Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia that dealt with all these floods and life-altering events that I'm sure you folks are going to be working on that and dealing with that for years. I mean, entire interstates just washed away and stuff and whatnot. But anyway, y'all have a great day, and I'd certainly like to invite anybody who wants to come over onto Dave Collier Camping on the Facebook side. And we're better than 1,000 now, and a bunch of new friends for you to meet, and love to see your videos and interact and meet you up with some new friends and whatnot. But I look forward to your views on this video. All right, take care, everybody.